There's another time it was with those guys, and we were out wandering up and down the railroad tracks when we weren't even supposed to be there.
Hello, buddy.
And Kenny LeBrecq or somebody had a pair of pliers in his pocket.
Oh, no.
And there's this row of cars that were pulled off the main line for a while. And so we went over to look them over, and we thought, well, let's look into this one. And we tore the tag off of it, the seal, and slid the door back and climbed in. It's full of torpedoes, and they're all stacked up, 6 across, 10 high, and they're in these big wooden frame things, you know. So they lay in there, and we looked, and Gary Carlson spun the propeller on one of them, and of course I thought it was kind of funny, but that could have set off the whole thing. It could have. So we meandered on to another car and broke the seal on it and climbed in there. It was full of Levi's.
Oh, Levi's.
Full. I mean,
Jeans, honey.
packed. And so we just started going through them. So, what's your size? What's your size? Who do you think in town will want this? We got about 350 to 400 pairs of Levi's out of it.
Wait, why were there so many cars filled with Levi's?
They were they were shipping them.
Wait, you just took them?
Yeah.
He was a bad boy.
I was not a nice boy. And so we were wearing, everybody was wearing Levi's in town, and a nice new Levi's, and so one day.
I wish I would have been with you.
One day, knock, knock, knock on the door, and my younger brother Mick, who has the common sense of
A newt.
went to the door, and one of the railroad dicks said to him, we thought they were railroad dicks, and we were going to talk to them.
That means detective.
Yeah.
That's weird enough.
Somebody from the railroad. We were just.
I was just sitting here thinking.
We weren't even going to talk
That's
to
just
them.
not nice.
And so Mick opened the door, and they said, "Are you Chet Cummings?" And he said, "Nope." Are you?
His
Mick?
brother is one taco short of a combo plate.
Yeah. He said, are you Mick Mulligan? He says, "Yep."
Yep.
He says, "We'd like to talk to you about some railroad." Well, I was in the kitchen, and I came out. Mick, shut up! You're not saying anything to these guys. And one of them turned to me and he said, "Young man, U.S. Marshals." Whoa! Let's see, who done knows U.S. Marshals? The Lone Ranger. And so, anyway, they said to me, "Would you sit down here? We'd like to ask some questions." And they asked questions. Then they took Mick outside and they asked him questions. Then they took me outside and they asked me questions. Then they came back into the house. And my parents are at work, both of them, but they're asking all these questions. And they said, "Are you aware that one of the railroad cars that you boys were playing around had explosives in it?" What? Levi's explode? And then I remember, oh yeah, the propeller. Oh, okay. So you're going to have to go. Please don't drive the axe into the rocks. You're going to have to show up at court in Montesano. Montesano, oh no. That's the next step to hell. And so we had to appear in Montesano about 60 days, probably something like that. And we got there, and
You got there?
yeah, we arrived there.
There you go.
On time, sweating. I should have shaved my armpits, I guess. And we got in there, and they talked to us, and the judge said, do you play around the railroad tracks very often? Well, it's right next door. He said, do you ever catch a ride? And I said, no.
How are you doing that?
And he's,
That's another story.
yeah, that's another story, and we weren't supposed to be doing that either. So, so they gave us 180 days probation.
Solana, my dad has learned a lot of lessons in his life.
Wait, what was this all about?
Oh, it's, that when you're a kid, you have the tendency to be honest, and then you realize you need to tell a lie. So that was his indecision between the nod and what he was saying out loud.
Yeah.
So tell the jumping off the train story.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
one where you.
I told that already.
Yeah,
haven't I?
No, tell us.
Daddy.
They haven't heard it
Tell
yet.
I haven't heard it.
I'm gonna tell you a story about jumping trains.
Daddy, after he's done telling the story, can you tell the puppy and the paint story?
I'm gonna tell a
Did you
story about
jump
the
in the
cops.
train? No, like puppy in the paint.
Okay, I'll tell my story real quick,
Okay.
or quite quickly. Whatever. I'll tell. My friend Phil Wilson and my friend Gary Carlson lived just about 1 straight mile west of where I lived in the grand city of Elma, Washington, population 2,864. And so Phil would call me on occasion and say, hey, Chet, because they called me Chet in school, there's a train coming through. We're going to be on it. Come on over and catch it. We'll go out to Quallen Creek and go swimming. Yeah, good idea. So Mick and I went out to the tracks, and the engine go by. And in those days, it was the big black engine with a foof, foof, foof going out there.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
sorry.
So we're waiting there, and we wave at the engineers. They go by in the right train, and here's Phil and Gary leaning over the side. Come on, come on! So we run across, jump up, jump into the railroad car, and we'd start riding. Well, this time it wasn't that black big engine that goes poof, poof, poof with the smoke. It was the new diesel electric job, and we didn't understand what that was all about. So when it came along right through town, Phil and Gary reached down and grabbed us, pulled us in. Phil's sister, Sherry, who I just made, she made my nose run. And I loved just to stand next to her, kind of give me a. So, fortunately, Phil never saw this. So we started heading out. Oh, and here's what she's wearing. A pair of cut-off jeans, Levi's, a pair of cut-off jeans, and a halter top made like a bandana.
A banana.
Yeah, banana.
Banana.
How
So-
old was she?
She was in 8th grade.
Oh God.
I was a sophomore in high school.
Oh no.
Wrong.
So, I'm just a little bit excited to have being in the same railroad car as Sherry.
Jesus Christ. Railroad.
And we got out near, which was only about 2 miles, we got out near Quallen Creek, and that train is moving along faster than it ever has before. This is the first time we've got a train with this diesel electric engine. We've never been on one. And it's going probably 10 miles an hour faster than the other trains, because they always went, and it would slow down, like speed up and slow down. But these things went,
That's scary.
and it came time to get out of the train. And Phil says, you guys, we're going a lot faster than we're supposed to. We got to get out right now. And Mick said, "Okay."
Oh shit!
And he sat down on the door. He sat down on the door of the railroad car.
Totally
and
fits.
pushed himself off. One foot hit the gravel and stuff along the road, and he went
All the way out
head
going,
over hill, landed in the bushes with got a broken wrist.
That guy is so durable.
So the next one, Sherry. And Sherry feels begging. Sherry, get off the train, get off the train. I'm afraid. So she was sitting right in the doorway of the railroad car. He says, "Get off!" And he pushed her, and she went up like this, and she just hit both feet first and went right into the blackberry briars,
oh,
head first. And so then Phil and we just got off together, and I went out, and I remember my arm hit the railroad track, and knocked me over, down into the ravine kind of. And Phil did all right. I'm not sure what happened. But Gary Carlson, when he got ready to get out, the train was on an overpass, and he couldn't get out. He went all the way to Chehalis. Oh my God! So then Phil and I have to go back and collect the wreckage.
Oh crap!
Yeah. And we got back to Sherry first, of course, and she's screaming bloody murder. "Bill Wilson, I would tell your mother, you son of a bitch, you couldn't have get some." And so we had to wade into the brush to get her. And you step on one of those big canes, big briar canes, and they were 20 feet away from her. They were stuck into her. And she
oh God!
oh God, it was awful.
Oh,
I was complete anguish because I loved her. And so we finally got to her, and she's got scratch marks all over her chest and her stomach and everything. And I just said, "Oh God, I can't believe I did this." And I didn't do it actually, but it didn't matter. I felt like it did. And we got her out, and she has scratch marks all up and down her legs, and not on her back, but on her front, and just all scratched up, and her face, and we got her out of there, and she said, "It wasn't. Mom's gonna kill you." And then here comes Mick. "I think I broke my wrist. Come and help me get through the fence." So we all got home safely except for Mick.
Mick always broke something.
Yep.